In Japan, temples are not just places for worship. They are places of quiet, stillness, and time. When you walk through the temple gate, it feels like you are entering a different world. The sound of traffic fades. The air becomes calm. You may notice the soft crunch of stones under your feet or the slow steps of an old person offering incense. In this space, everything moves more slowly. This is not by accident. It is the way temples have always been. Japanese temples are often surrounded by nature. You will see tall trees, moss-covered stones, small ponds with fish, and sometimes deer or birds nearby. These are not decorations. They are part of the temple's spirit. The natural world is respected deeply in Japanese Buddhism. A temple does not try to control nature. It accepts it. A tree that leans, a stone that is cracked, these are not mistakes. They are reminders that nothing is perfect, and that is beautiful. Inside the temple buildings, you will find simple designs: wood, paper, and stone. No bright colors, no loud music. This quiet style helps the mind to rest. Many temples are built with wide open spaces. When there is less to see, we begin to notice more. We begin to notice our own breath, our feelings, and the present moment. This is one of the hidden lessons of the temple. It does not tell you what to think. It invites you to notice. Many visitors feel peace when they are in a Japanese temple. But this peace does not come from the place alone. It comes from how we move through it. When we walk slowly, when we lower our voice, when we take time to look around, we begin to feel something inside. It is a kind of quiet we don't often find in daily life. The heart of the temple is not just the statue in the main hall. It is the silence, the space, the time. It teaches us without words. And when we leave, we carry that quiet with us, if we choose to. In a Japanese temple, each day begins early. Before the sun rises, the temple is already awake. The monk lights a stick of incense, offers it to the altar, and begins to chant. This may look simple, but it has deep meaning. Rituals like this shape the life of the temple. They are not just things we do, they are ways we live. Ritual in a temple is not about being perfect. It is about being present. The way the incense is held, the way the bell is struck, the way the floor is swept. All of these actions are done with care, not fast, not slow, just with attention. When you watch someone perform these actions, it may seem quiet or even boring, but inside that quiet, there is something alive. There is focus, there is intention. Every movement in a temple has a purpose, but that purpose is not always to get something done. In daily life, we rush. We try to finish things quickly. In the temple, the ritual is the point. When a monk cleans the altar, it is not only to make it clean, it is to respect the space and to respect the act itself. There is no hurry. There is only the moment. Visitors often wonder why these rituals are repeated every day. The same chant, the same offering, the same bow. But repetition is not just habit. It is a path. By doing the same thing each day, the mind can settle. We do not need to ask, what next? We already know. And in that knowing, we can go deeper. It becomes easier to listen, not with the ears, but with the heart. These daily rituals also connect people across time. A chant used today may be hundreds of years old. The way the incense is placed, the way the hands are folded, these have been done by many before us. When we follow these actions, we step into something larger than ourselves. We become part of a long, living history. So, the role of ritual in a Japanese temple is not to impress. It is to bring us back. Back to the present. Back to respect. Back to the deep rhythm of life that we often forget. When people visit a Japanese temple for the first time, many are surprised by how simple it looks. There are no tall towers, no gold-covered walls, no bright paintings. The buildings are made of wood. The colors are soft, brown, grey, sometimes white. The roofs curve gently. The rooms are open and quiet. But this simplicity is not emptiness. It is a kind of teaching. In Japanese Buddhism, beauty is not about showing more. It is about showing less. A temple does not try to impress you. It tries to help you return to yourself. When you walk through a wide hallway with no decoration, your eyes begin to rest. Your heart becomes calm. There is space to breathe. That space is important. It makes room for thought, for emotion, and for stillness. The floors are often tatami, soft mats made of straw. When you walk on them, your steps become quiet. This quiet is not just a sound, it is a way of being. In temples, people move slowly. They speak softly. They sit in silence. The building itself supports this way of life. It does not demand your attention. It invites you to slow down. The use of natural materials is also a lesson. Wood that ages, paper that lets light through, stones that are rough and uneven. These are not mistakes. They remind us that life changes. Nothing stays new forever. In fact, old things are often more respected in temple life. A worn pillar or faded screen shows time. It shows use. It shows life. The space inside a temple is often open, with sliding doors that can be moved. This allows the outside and the inside to meet. You may sit in a room and see the garden. You may feel the breeze or hear the rain. This connection between inside and outside is not accidental. It teaches us that we are not separate from the world. We are part of it. Temple architecture is not just design. It is experience. The silence, the simplicity, the connection to nature, all of these shape how we feel and how we think. Even without words, the building itself becomes a teacher. A Japanese temple is more than a place. It is a way of seeing, a way of being. Even after you leave the temple gates, its spirit can stay with you. You may not have a garden with moss and stones. You may not hear temple bells in the morning. But still, something of that quiet life can enter your own. Perhaps it begins with how you move through your day. When you wash a cup, you might do it slowly, with care. When you walk, you might feel each step. These small moments, done with attention, begin to change how we feel inside. We don't need to be monks. We don't need to live in temples. But we can live more gently, more simply, and more clearly. In the temple, time feels different. There is no rush, no need to be somewhere else. We can bring that sense of time into our homes, even if just for a few minutes. A quiet moment in the morning, a few breaths before sleep, a soft light in the evening. These are simple things, but they have great power. They help us return to ourselves. The teachings of the temple are not always spoken. They are felt. In the silence of a hall, in the warmth of old wood, in the still water of a garden pond. These things remind us to pause, to look, to listen. Even in the middle of a busy city, we can carry this feeling with us. It becomes a quiet place inside us. To those who have watched, thank you deeply. Your kindness, your thoughtful comments, your support through likes, subscriptions, and super thanks, each one is sincerely appreciated. This space we are sharing is not only mine, it is something we build together, slowly, with care. Like the temple, it grows over time, quietly and naturally. If these reflections have brought you a moment of peace or a new way of thinking, I am grateful. May the quiet heart of the temple stay with you, wherever you are.